will be joining in. So you're probably going to get like so many questions of like, hey, your hair, or this and that. Um, let's see. Somebody's already there. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. So I have, oh my gosh, I have Kesi here. You girl, you are living my dream. You are absolutely living my life. I'm jealous. Um, so let's see, real quick here. Let me share with these guys. We have like a Ugandan YouTuber group, so and they all promote tourism. Oh, oops, sorry, I shared the wrong one. And delete for everyone. So let me see. Yeah, because I want everybody to hear your story. So, how long have you been in Hungary now?
I've been living in Hungary since September. It's my first time having an apartment in over 5 years. So for me, it's really, really exciting to have a home.
Where have you been living otherwise? Just like traveling, like anywhere, tents?
Yeah, like before I called my backpack my home because that really was my home. I took it everywhere with me. I would sleep anywhere, couches, hostels, with friends. Sometimes a tent in the car, wherever.
Yeah. What was that thing? Let's see. Was that a ding on your side?
Oh yeah, I closed out of it. Sorry, that was.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So where can we start from? So when did you graduate from school?
Yeah, I graduated from university in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I moved to New York City after graduating, and I worked for 3 years in finance.
Look at you. What were you doing in finance? I work with a software company that does mostly software for finance guys. So like forecasting, budgeting. So they buy, my company manufactures the solution or whatever. So what did you do in finance? Were you an accountant or?
So I ended up in corporate finance.
Okay.
I originally had 3 summer internships at an investment bank, doing like sales and trading type of work. And then I landed a full-time job at a credit card company where I was doing corporate finance. It's like internal finance, projections, how to cut expenses, which actually might be a good thing when it comes to traveling. Because I'm really good at budgeting.
Yeah.
Finance background helped.
Helps you a lot, yes. What credit card company? Capital One, Discover.
It was American Express.
Oh, American Express. That's a good one, actually. I know a friend of mine that uses it. I think you get points as you spend, so you can get points like you can put towards your travel and stuff. So I hope that's what you're using with all your travels and stuff.
Oh, I'm a big travel hacker. Like I think I have around 11 credit cards right now. But yeah, I'm all about collecting points and using them to get free flights.
Free flights. I know of free food, but not free flights. So that's you are a winner. You are a winner here. So anyways, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me on this live. I don't know what your day is like, your schedule is like. So, but I'm sure you always, if you're not traveling, I don't know what you're doing. You're probably maybe taking a nap. Because I feel like you're always on the road. So tell me, what are the craziest questions you've received so far? I mean, you went to an Ivy League school. Come on. You went to Wharton. So I am familiar with Wharton. I remember when I first moved here from Uganda, I was looking at going back to school. So my husband was going to UPenn. So he's a scientist. So he's doing his PhD there. And so I started looking around. I'm like, oh, maybe I could go back to school. So, and then of course, Wharton was just like around the corner. And I was like, So everybody who went there drove Benzes. Trump's daughter went there, and I was like, lots of kids from China who went to those schools, to the business school. So how did you even afford that school? Tell me.
So I was very lucky. One, I was a recruited athlete, so I was figuring out which schools I wanted to go to, and
Yeah.
I also grew up very privileged, and my parents were able to pay for my college education, which I'm super, super grateful for. Uh, so, um, yeah, that was how I was able to afford university through my family.
Oh, through your family. That's helpful. That's nice. That's nice. All right, so let me see. This thing is like showing red light. Like everybody's asking me for the links. I'm trying to like see if I can send it. Uh, let's see. Let me share link. All right. So you've been to Africa. So tell me, what was your experience? First of all, what came to your mind for you to? Let's first go back. So you went to school, you started your dream job, I suppose, and somehow you decided to quit. Like when I was reading your bio, I was like cracking up. I was like, that's like my kind of girl. You're like, I'm done with this. I'm packing my bag. So, what came to your mind? What made you interested in traveling? How did you come up with this whole decision?
Yeah, so my travel bug actually started while I was in university at Wharton. They have these programs called the Wharton International Program, and it'd be like 1 or 2 weeks over like spring break. I got to go to Brazil and I got to go to South Africa. And I just really enjoyed those experiences, and it made me want to learn about more cultures and things like that. So when I graduated university, I did a 5-week backpacking trip with two of my best friends. We went throughout Southeast Asia, which is like the backpacker mecca. And I remember to this day, I met someone. I'm like, you walk around like, how long are you traveling for? How long are you traveling for? And this one was like, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. I'm like, what? People just travel? Like, what does that even mean? People do this? And then lo and behold, that turned into my life.
Wow.
So what initially inspired me, like I never planned to be traveling for almost 6 years now. I had a plan in place. I'm risk averse. I saved up money for 2 years with a plan to travel around the world for 1 year. But somehow that 1 year just transformed into a lifestyle.
Into a lifestyle. Oh my gosh. So how many countries have you been to so far?
I'm not sure. I'm close to 70. I know I'm close to 70.
70 countries. Okay. I stopped counting at 60 for you. So when you said 60 plus, I was like, okay, I'll stick to 60 countries. So you've been to 70 plus countries. What has been your most exciting country? I know that's like a tricky question. You have to be careful with it, right? But which one has been your funniest country so far?
I think the most interesting one for me was Mozambique.
Okay.
And that's really because it's more like not that many people go to Mozambique. So one, I like that aspect of it. And two, this might sound weird, but it's one of the hardest countries to travel in terms of their infrastructure. There are like really, really bad roads and things like that. The worst roads I've seen. But it kind of made, once you got to your final destination, even better. And it was also a way to connect with other travelers because we all had like one horror story about like being pulled over at the side of the road, having to spend overnight there. Like you're on a public bus, you have to like sleep outside for the night. Like everyone has these crazy stories, but it bonds us all. And then once you just, as I said, once you get that final destination, mind blown. I'm in this gorgeous place. Like, how does no one know about these places yet? it's not that expensive.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how expensive is it?
I don't have the exact numbers, but
Yeah.
Mozambique it's affordable place to get around. You can always find budget accommodation and things like that, or couch surfing. There's always ways to make things more affordable.
How are people there? Are they hospitable? What was your experience with the locals?
Yeah, so they speak Portuguese there, so that made it a
Yeah.
little more difficult because before I was in East Africa and like I was able to get around speaking English.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Portuguese is a little bit hard. But people like from my first introduction into the country, I crossed the border from Malawi into Mozambique in this really, really small town. Like we didn't know anything about this town, and we were trying to catch a bus to the next biggest city, but there was no bus. And we found this one guy with a cane, and he's like, "I have a car. We can drive you." And at first, we thought they were like ripping us off. They charged us like $100 for the ride. We're like, "What is this? Why are they trying to rip us off?" It was worth a penny.
It was worth it. Oh, that's great. That's great.
The way, like, I'm so thankful that they were able to drive us. We had a flat tire on the way. They maneuvered the way, like they were creative to figure out a way how to, with no jack, be able to change a tire. Like we were like in the car, it was like almost like a roller coaster, like lean left, lean left, lean left. So like the car doesn't flip over.
Wow.
It was an adventure within itself, just like a car ride was an adventure. But we were so gracious for the person who offered the ride, and like he made sure we had a place to stay, got us food, like all this stuff. So that was a nice introduction, even though it was like kind of a crazy drive.
Wow. Yes, that's. I can imagine you like new in the country and your car breaks down. You're like, holy cow, what do we do? So, but like seeing like all the locals come to help, that's heartwarming to me. You know, it's like, how much more welcome can you get? You know, like people are willing to help you out. I mean, I think of the United States, like if your car breaks down on the road, everybody's like just driving away. You know, like I've seen like one guy who stopped one time to see. I had to do it too. At one point, I stopped and I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" I mean, we have AAA, we have all those things, but sometimes somebody's getting like a heart attack, you know, on maybe they're driving and they pull aside because they can't breathe, and you know, you could be their savior. But it's something that happens a lot in Africa. But I think also as a tourist there can be scary seeing people like stop. You know, you're like you don't know whether to trust them and this and the other. But that's amazing. So guys who are joining us, thanks for joining us. I see Simon, I see Charles, I see Mada, I see Simon. You guys, thanks for joining us. So I have Kesi here. Kesi is an American. She actually went to a school which is an Ivy League. It's close to me. It's in my town. I know where it is. So I connected with her on Facebook because I love what she does. She travels. And I mean, just imagine, like, you guys know, like, things like Harvard, but Wharton School is, I think, I don't know, is it like #1 business school in there?
We like to claim we're #1. I'm not sure where the rankings are now, but
yeah.
We like to claim it.
yeah, you like to claim it. So it's #1 business school, I believe, in the United States. And so that's where she went to school. And then after that, she got a job with the Wall Street. If you guys are familiar with the Wall Street, this is like New York, you know, like where all the business millionaires kind of sit and chat about their monies. So she decided to quit her job to travel the world. So that was the fascinating part for me. I was like, I need to talk to her. I need to see what she can tell other people like us who love to travel. How can we afford to travel? So if you guys have any questions for her, you can shoot them in the chat section and I'll be reading them to her and she will say hello and she'll also respond to your questions. So most of the people who've joined are actually Ugandans, Kesi. So yeah, so Kesi has been to Uganda. If you guys haven't checked her out, you can check her out. She's a vlogger, blogger.
Blogger, more blogger, but I guess
more blogger.
Instagram.
yeah, more on Instagram. So she writes about all her adventures. She shares some tips. So she's come up with like a whole bunch of community that she shares with her travels, and she's been able. Recently, she was able to take people with her to Uganda on safari. So I want to hear what she thinks of. Hey, Kesi, when you plan to visit Qatar, link up with me. I'm going to show you around. Oh, that's Joy. She's in Qatar. Trust me, she'll be there. This one travels. So Joy is saying if you travel to Qatar, look her up. She'll take you around. So she lives there.
Awesome.
There you go.
That's a big layover city. Like Qatar Airways goes through Doha. So
yes.
I always like having connections around the world. That's always useful.
It's useful, yes. Anywhere you're like, hey, I can't die here. There's somebody that I can look up. So you've been to, you said one of your funniest countries was Mozambique. So what have been your craziest questions or assumptions from your friends or other people around the world about Africa?
Oh my God. Some people, like, one, I hate how we always reduce Africa as like just Africa. Like, it's 54 different countries. It's so diverse. It's all these things. So we always just refer to it as Africa. And then I had one of my girlfriends. She was recently married. She was looking for honeymoon recommendations. I was giving her all these beaches along Kenya, along Tanzania, and she's like, oh, I'm not allowed to go to Africa. My mom says it's too dangerous. I'm like, the whole continent? You can't go to Africa? What? Like, I was just baffled by that. And yeah, like I have a lot of like military friends and that. So like, when they found out I was backpacking around East Africa for 3 months, like just be careful, be really careful, more so than other places I've been in the world. People were just seem more scared. So yeah, I don't know why people are so fearful of visiting an entire continent.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I think most people believe Africa is just a country. Oh, hi, my brother, watching from Uganda. That's actually my brother. Hi, Ellie. I'm here with Kesi. So Kesi will be coming to Uganda again soon if you guys open up. So maybe Ellie, you can link up with Kesi and say hello on my behalf, because she's my friend now and that's my brother. So she's going through Barara, so she can visit my village. So Ellie can take you to my hometown, so you can see.
What part of Uganda?
Western Uganda. So like you go through Barara. So there's a place where it's called Kaguta Road. So that's I don't know how I can explain it to you, but it's on your way to Mbarara. So before you reach Lake Mboro, do you guys see Lake Mboro? Or you probably didn't get to go to the park. But it's that side. So we're in Western Uganda, not too far. It's about 4 hours or 5 hours drive from Kampala. So
I went to a wedding around there, or an introduction ceremony.
I saw you dancing. I saw you dressed up in a Gomesi. That was so hilarious. So so next time you're going there, please, yes, I'll send you my brother's contact so you can go visit my hometown, my village, and you can spend a night there for free. I promise you. They'll house you for free. They'll take care of you. So you don't have to pay.
I'll cook something.
Yes. So how was your experience in Uganda? What made you even want to travel to Uganda, first of all?
Yeah, so I first went to Uganda in 2018, and I really didn't know much about it at all. I knew you could do like gorilla trekking there, but I really didn't know anything else. So my first trip was only 10 days, but something that like I was really taken aback by was like how welcome you feel. Like I think I wrote this on my post, where when you meet in Uganda, they're like welcome, and I'm like, I really do feel welcome. Like they're welcoming me here. Like it feels warm and inside. And don't tell the other East Africans, but I think Ugandans were the most friendly out of all of East Africa. Like people were, I don't know, willing to help. Even Ugandans I meet outside of the country always are like just really like go out of their way to help.
Okay. That's good. I think they're all probably smiling as they hear your comments. So they're like, yay, because there's so much that goes around for the rest of the world about Africa. So, like now, if it's not politics, it always comes back to politics. And then it comes to how, to security and like how unsafe it is. I remember most people asking me, like when I first came to the United States, the guys at immigrations asked me about Idi Amin. And I was like, really? I was not even born yet when that guy was alive. So, but that's all they know, that's when I think of Uganda, and then now they start thinking about Last King of Scotland. Of course, that's a new one. So they relate countries to movies that they've watched from Hollywood, and these movies usually are portraying something ugly that happened to that country, or documentaries about famine, about kids who are dying and kids who, like people will ask me. I remember one girl from UPenn asked me one time, we're playing soccer, and she goes, "Hey Brenda, so do you actually have like real houses back in Uganda?" I was like, "No, we sleep in trees." Like, no, like we have tree houses. Yes, that's where we sleep. So I always tell my friends, "Hi guys, that's Ugandans." Yes, yes, yes. Hope to see you in Zambia. Kesi, have you been to Zambia?
I've never been to Zambia.
Oh my gosh, you have to find the Kumba guy. The Kumba guy writes. Yes, go find him on YouTube because he writes about Zambia. So Zambia, I feel like Zambia is one of those African treasures that hasn't been discovered so much. I mean, people now talk about the Gambia, but the Gambia, that's a different country. But I think Zambia is one of those that you should also check out. Like, I can't wait. I'm going there this summer. So I'm going through Zambia anyways, but I can't wait to see it. I'm going to South Africa and then Namibia and then Zambia and then Malawi and then back to South Africa and back there. I know. It's awesome. It's awesome. So if you guys have any questions, please shoot them to Kesi. If you want to know any other countries that she's traveled to, maybe you're thinking of traveling to, you need some ideas. Kesi, I'll put your description of your Instagram and all the details so that people can always check out your blogs that you write about different places that you travel to. So what was your experience with, I saw you doing gorilla tracking. Yeah, so how was that? I've never done it. I know.
Like, one of the top 2 things I've ever done in my life. And I've been lucky enough to do it twice. I did it once in the DRC, and then I ran a group trip this past February in Uganda. So I got to go in Uganda as well. Mm-hmm. And it is just like a surreal experience to be so close to like creatures that look so much like humans. Like you observe them, you're like, what? How does this monkey look so much like me? You're like, what? But it's a really special experience. It's expensive, but it's worth every penny.
Yeah. How much are the tickets now?
So in Uganda, a permit costs like $700.
Okay.
For Ugandans, though, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. If you're a national, yes. If you're a citizen, yes, it's a lot cheaper. Yeah. I wonder how much still. Yeah.
But then you also have to factor in like transportation, accommodation, because it's not an easy place to get to. You need at least 3 days to do a trek. So it's an expensive endeavor, but definitely worth it. I've gone on different types of safaris. I think gorilla trekking by far is the coolest thing.
Wow. How long did it take you guys? Like, I know you so you got, where did you stay?
Wait, what did you say?
Where did you stay when you reached to where is it again? Where the Windy, yes.
Yeah.
What place did you stay at?
So we stayed at Rushanga Gorilla Lodge, which is nicer lodges. Like, it was like really beautiful. You're out in the mountains. Like, you come out of your room. You're just like, oh, this is heaven.
Yeah.
So that was, we're in the Rashanga region of Burundi because there's different entry points where you can go.
Yeah. So were you able to cross over the border, or you just stayed on the Ugandan side of the forest?
We just stayed on the Ugandan side, and it took about like 3 hours in total to do the gorilla trek, and you were able to be with them for 1 hour.
Oh, okay. How many are there now? I know that the older ones have been dying. I think they're old. But how many gorillas did they tell you?
I don't know the specific number in Uganda, but overall for mountain gorillas, we're like over 1,000, which has been slowly increasing over the years. Like we were at 800 a couple years ago. So tourism is great because it brings these conservation dollars to help conserve these animals, conserve these parks, protect it from rangers and things like that. That's another reason why I like to encourage people to come to these countries, spend their money, spend their dollars, and go to like either supporting local economies or supporting conservation efforts. Like it's good. Like don't just you got like that's the other thing I get annoyed with, and people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go there to volunteer. I'm like, no, go there to travel.
They go there to travel, yes, exactly. Well, you can volunteer and travel, but like not just like I'm going as an NGO work and that's it, and then you get out of the country, you haven't even traveled anywhere, like you haven't tried to help the local communities and stuff like that. So, wow. So tell me, I saw you're planning to go, but how many people did you go with?
My last trip, we had 11 guests. And this was in the height of the pandemic. Like,
yeah, you guys are crazy. Yeah,
I didn't like. We're like, but we're gonna go anyway. And I'm so happy to have brought these guests there. I mean, everyone gets tested before, and I'm leaving the country. Everyone was negative, so everything was safe. But also just like the regions that we were going to, we had. I posted the video on my Instagram. I'm not sure if you saw it. But
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, we were in this Rushanga region, and all of a sudden we see these people like parading down the street, singing, dancing. And we're like, oh, they're having a good time. Like, I wonder why they're so happy. And later that night, we found out they were happy because my group spent so much money in that community in terms of whatever tips they left, whatever souvenirs they bought. We would go to the little bar, buy drinks there. Just they haven't had many tourists in a while.
A long time, yeah.
They literally partied throughout the night, and because my group. So that was like that meant a lot to me, and that's what I want to just bring more of is people, showing them how beautiful certain countries are. Communities.
Yeah, and connect with the locals. That means a lot to them because like the money you spend there is like, it's little, but it's really so much for them. Like it goes a long way. It helps like support their local businesses and keep them floating. So wow. So you're planning to go, but how did you meet all these people that went with you? Like how do you do it? Like if anybody wants to join your group to travel with you guys, because I know like when you travel in groups, it actually gets a little cheaper. You maybe some companies could give you guys like discounts. I'm hoping. On like, I don't know, like tickets, maybe not, but on things like accommodation, there are tour companies that I know could give you a discount on like accommodation or meals if you're a group. So
yeah, I partnered with a safari agency. My first trip in 2018, I met this guy. He was so nice. He showed us around a bit in Uganda. We had like a night together, just hanging out, drinking. And I really liked his story because he was born in Uganda, born and raised there. And then he went to the UK to go to university. He got a job in finance, was working in this job.
That's like your life. That's like your life.
Like 6 years. And he he would complain about like Ugandan government and stuff like that. And at some point he's like, I don't want to be a part of this brain drain still. Like let me go back to Uganda. Let me figure out what I can do to help support my country. Like, let's not just take all these educate people out. What can I do? So that's when he took over his family tour company.
Mhm.
And yeah, we align on a lot of the same values where we want to support local economies. Like this is a local Ugandan agency. They'll build resorts where they can hire people. Like just keep the money like within Uganda. That's
Yes,
the
yes.
premise. So he's one who actually reached out to me because at first we wanted to do like marketing for his new Gorilla Lodge.
Okay.
Then
What's the name of his company again?
it's called Butu Safaris.
No, Ubuntu Safaris. Okay.
Yeah.
And he has a lodge as well.
So they had a lodge in Murchison that was beautiful and it flooded recently.
Oh yeah.
Like a year ago, it got flooded. But he's building a new one in Burundi right now.
Okay.
So hopefully that's ready by like January.
Okay.
But just overall, like it's just someone with like really good values, really trustworthy. So we partnered together for this group trip. My job is basically to get the people to come, and Butu organizes the whole safari. This is what they do, so they do that.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. So is he still based in Uganda now, or he moved back to the UK, or is he like on ground running the business?
He's fully based in Uganda. He's been living in Uganda for several years now. Maybe.
Oh yeah, I'll look him up. What's his name?
His name's Dowdy.
Okay.
Mutula. I'm good butcher the names.
Yeah. Yeah. You send me his name. Yeah. So let's see. Somebody is asking a question. It said, "Have you been to Kenya?"
I have, and I love Kenya as well. I would love to spend more time in Kenya because I was in Nairobi, which surprisingly I had so many friends in Nairobi. Like Nairobi's a poppin' city. It was my first.
It is. It's a city. Yeah.
Yeah, like Thursday night at Jay's. Oh, I still remember that night. It was so fun.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And
so what did you? Then what else did you do in Kenya?
I would say probably my favorite place, one of my favorite places in the entire world, top 5 places in the entire world, is Lamu Island in Kenya.
Lamu Island.
I love that place. And I think the main reason is there's no cars there. And I was only there for a week, but in a week, I felt like I knew so many people. I'd walk down the street. I'd be like, everyone has a nickname, like, hey, Mr. Crab, like, hey, Shark. Like I just felt like included in that community. And I need to go back at some point because I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. I have so many, like a few guys who are on our live right now are actually from Kenya. Kivo is from Kenya. This is Africa. You should check his channel out too. All these guys, if you can actually see the people on the side, you should check they're all YouTubers, and they do travel content. I know This is Africa. That guy is actually American, and he's doing videos. He's trying pretty much to promote Africa. Like Africa is not what you guys think. Outside Africa, this is Africa. So he's bringing content like safaris and different cultures, and we're trying to do like a group of us. Like there was the Kumba guys, and This is Africa. I and 2 other people from other parts of Africa are coming together to, like every week at least, to talk about what you could, like what is Africa, like what Africa is to the rest of the world. So show them the positive side of Africa, culture, tribes and languages and foods, and so things like that. So maybe we'll feature you more on there, so you can tell people that this is Africa. I'm not African, but this is Africa to you. So
I would gladly love to talk about the different countries I've been to in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, if you have any more questions for Kesi, I know everybody got to run here. I don't want to take too much of anybody's time. So when are you next in Uganda again?
I will return in January. I'm doing another group trip, And I also want to do some hiking while I'm there. And I guess now I have a new place to go. I have a new village to see.
Yes. You have to go to Roshare. Yeah. Watching live from Uganda. All these guys watching from Uganda. Yes, there's so much you can see. And if you want to go to places like, did you visit Jinja while you're in Uganda?
So that's where Butu is based out of.
Okay.
Jinja is like, that's like my Uganda home, I feel like, Jinja.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Did you do? I know you do crazy things. Have you done bungee jumping?
I've done bungee jumping, not in Uganda. I think they're
Not in
opening.
Uganda. Yeah, it's probably not open again. But it's one of the popular things to do at Bujagali Falls in Ginger. So that's also for Nile. And then did you also do? Or maybe that wasn't open either. Kayaking.
I did the white water rafting.
Oh, you did the white water. How did you like that? Oh my gosh.
So I went in 2018, and this was right before they built a dam. Because I know everyone was really worried with the dam that like the rapids won't be as good and it'll be bad for tourism. But I went again this past February. It was still crazy.
It was still crazy.
It was still crazy. I felt death for half a second, but like it felt real. It was fun. Like I came out alive, so I was happy.
That's my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. People calling. I'm like, I have a house phone. It's too old school. But I have kids, so I kind of have to have it. So if I'm not in the house, I can call them. Yeah. So what do you mean? What happened?
Okay. So it's the like rapid 5, like category 5 rapid. It's called like the bad place. And I know why. Our guide, he warned us. He's like, if you fall off the boat, do not swim to the boat, like swim away from the boat. And he also warned us, remember to breathe. There's going to be lots of waves. Just remember to breathe. And I'm happy with both those advice. But the issue was when I got knocked off the boat, I got stuck underneath the boat. And like, so it's just like water. And like, we're in the rapids and I can't get out from under the boat. And that's what I mean, where I saw death for like half a second. So it's just like, whoa.
Oh my gosh, that is scary.
I got up from under the boat, and then you get hit by wave.
Yeah.
He told me to breathe, because if I forgot to breathe, I would have just been like drinking water and panicking. But once we finished, I was like, that was awesome.
You are nuts, I swear. You're like, that was awesome, but I was just about to die, but that was cool.
But I didn't die, So that was awesome.
Oh my gosh, how many of you guys were on the rafts? Kesi, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry.
How many were you guys on there?
We had, I think, 5 people, and everyone fell off in the bad place. Everyone fell off, including the guide.
Wow. All right. So one thing, what would you say to somebody who wants to try out that? What should they have in mind before getting into it?
100% do it. It's like you're on the Nile. You're whitewater rafting on the Nile. You have a helmet. Like, and they do these every day. Like, they know if it's gonna be bad for you, they wouldn't do it. But you're supposed to fall off. That's part of the fun.
You're supposed to fall off here, right? But you better know how to swim. That's one.
Well, you have a life jacket.
You have a life jacket, yeah. Like, okay, so it's just gonna keep you floating. Oh my gosh, I have all these guys. So I have people from I have Beyond Borders with Zanelle. She's in, let's say, Beyond Borders with Zanelle. That's in Kenya. She's in Kenya. And then we have the Kumba guy, that's in Zambia. We have so many guys from actually Kenya. We have some from Namibia. So you have like the whole of African community here right now. All right. So next, so what other countries on your list to travel to in Africa? Apart from Uganda, I know you have to travel to Uganda in January, you said?
Yeah.
So who's next?
I would love to get to explore a little bit more of West Africa. I don't know French or like Arabic, so it was a little bit more difficult. But like there's Benin, Senegal. Um, there's this train I really want to go on, this iron ore train. I have no idea why I want to go on it. It's like 18 hours. You're in an iron ore train. I want to do it. That's in Mauritiana. I can't even pronounce it.
Mauritiana.
Mozambique. So those ones are all like high on my list. I'll be in Seychelles for New Year's, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but there's.
How far out do you book your trips? Like because I think this might actually help me. When are the good times to book to get deals? What are the tips that you can give us?
My main thing is more so using credit cards to get miles so I can fly for free, so I don't have to worry about timing. So yeah, I would use miles to get to the African continent because it could be a little more expensive. But there's certain websites, like there's a thing, Scotch Cheap Flights. He's a good thing to sign up for because he also always sending out flight deals. You can make Google Flight Alerts.
Yeah. Google Flight Alerts. Yes, I've heard about that one.
But I think the biggest thing is as long as you're flexible, if you, like, instead of choosing like I want to go to this country, just be like I want to go where I can find the cheapest flights, and you can search things on like Skyscanner where you say I want to go from New York to, and you can put Africa there, and then they'll tell you where the cheapest places are to go in Africa, and then that's how I would plan it. I'm like, okay, I'll go wherever the cheapest flight is. Sounds good to me.
All right. Have you had any problems with so you hold an American passport, right? So which countries have you actually had to or when you're trying to travel, do you look for countries first of all that you don't need like visas and stuff? Are those like your high priorities, or you just decide to go anyways?
Oh, I definitely have that passport privilege, that American privilege.
Yeah.
I remember when I was planning to go to Nigeria, I got so like annoyed with the whole visa process. I'm like, Kesi, hold up. I had to check myself. I'm like, I'm so lucky that I don't usually have to look up countries. Like I just assume that I will be allowed in. Like it's just that's what privilege is, right? You just don't think about not being allowed in a country. But yeah, so Nigeria was like the hardest visa I had to get, but generally speaking,
so you need to get a visa for Nigeria?
Yeah, like $180, and it'd be like way in advance, and like
you have to do it way in advance
and stuff. Like you really had to plan, and I'm not the biggest planner.
Yeah, I suck at I suck at planning. Yeah, so but that's good to know.
But yeah, most of the countries around like East Africa, everything's usually visa on arrival, or you can easily get it online. So,
I think Uganda just changed recently. Well, they still give you visa on arrival, but you have to apply for it online ahead of time now. And then I guess they could approve or deny you. I don't know, unless you have stolen a pickup truck from Uganda before, then they will deny you a visa. But otherwise, I think it's like straightforward. So we have Cizo Diaries, so she's from Namibia. Somebody was recommending, let's see, Zanelle was recommending that you should visit, let's see, what's her comment? She said, try Southern Africa also, especially Eswatini.
I don't know much about Eswatini, but I think it's in the middle of another country.
Yeah. I think that's actually where she's originally from. Yeah, she's originally from there. So I've seen her videos about Eswatini. I think because now she lives in Nairobi. She lives in Kenya. So she was trying to do like 2 different languages. I think she's married to a Kenyan guy, but she's from Eswatini. So you could check her content out whenever you get some time and chat with her. So who else had a question? Other people are just saying hello. The description of my country. She's laughing at us. Let's see. The description of my country. What would you say? Like, I don't know how you say it. I don't know how you pronounce it.
It was like, or I think it's because I said it was like a little country in another country.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Let's see. So, anyways, guys. So, if you have any questions, but I'll put Kesi's details in the description of this video, and you guys can check out her blogs. And you can chat with her whenever you have some time. Any questions about where you're planning to travel? I'm sure she'll answer your questions, or she'll also check you guys out if she wants to travel to a different country. It's always great to have these friends. Like, trust me. Like I'm going to Namibia for the first time, and I already have connections with these YouTubers, and they're like, the moment you get to the airport, just call us. Like we'll be there, we'll pick you up, we'll go get some drinks and travel, like take you whatever. So that's like the amazing part of like this is the thing I love about Africans. So at least you have somebody there. You get it right, Kesi, and that one. Let's see. We finally got Sun again here and ready for Africa show again. These guys are just chatting their own stuff. All right. So let's see. What else did I want to ask you about? So for some of you guys who might just be joining, Kesi has traveled to 60 plus countries. And she just, like she was saying, her backpack is her best friend. So she just wakes up and travels. She used to have a very good paying job with the Wall Street. She decided to just travel the world. So she says that's what gives her happiness. She's met so many friends. What has been your experience like, Kesi? Tell us, since you started just traveling.
Yeah. I think for me, like what really just keeps me going is I love connecting with people. Like I'm realizing that's why I travel. It's like I just love connection, whether it's like me, like meeting different people, or if I'm able to connect others with each other. Like that's what I'm really, really passionate about. That's probably why I love traveling so much, because I do get to meet people from all over the world. And the whole like pandemic scenario, I realized like I had to go back home, like where my parents lived, for a couple months. I realized I was like watching the news. I started to get more like negative and things like that. But once I'm out in the world and traveling and just living life, I remember people are so good. Like, yes, there's horrible things going on in the world, but when I'm living in it, like the energy I'm putting out is what I get. Like I'm a positive person, and I'm surrounded by all these amazing humans from different walks of life. And when I travel, I just get reminded of that. It's whether like even like yesterday, I was walking in this random village in Hungary, like all white country, and I was getting tired of hiking, so I put my thumb up, and this lady stopped, no question, said, "Get in my car." And we didn't speak the same language. She dropped me off where I need to be dropped off. Like it's just those things. That's why I love travel. People are good.
Yeah, people are good. So we have a question here for you, Kesi. How do you recommend solo travel for the first timer?
Yeah, so one, I think solo travel is like a great experience because one, you are in control of what you want to do. You don't have to compromise with anyone. You just, if you want to do it, you go and do it. I think maybe what people are most afraid of as a solo travel is like, will I be lonely? How do I meet people? And there's definitely ways to meet people if you want to stay in things like hostels. Those are social environments. I love using apps like Couchsurfing. Couchsurfing is when someone hosts you for free. And you have an instant friend that way. Like someone's hosting you, they want to show you their country. They're local. They'll show you around. And then the other thing, it just kind of forces you to be a little more social. Like if you go to the bar, if you can either sit by yourself and not do anything, but when you're by yourself, you might notice like, hey, maybe I'm going to start talking to this person next to me, so I don't have to talk to myself. It brought out some new personality traits in me when I traveled for the first time solo. So like maybe for a first timer, maybe go to a place that's a little bit more popular with other travelers, so you like get used to it, like Southeast Asia, Central America. There's a big traveling community there, so it's easier. Backpacking around like East Africa solo might not be as easy, so maybe not the best for the first timer. But you can still do it.
You can still do it. I mean, like, because I know some friends, like like some of my husband's colleagues, whenever they travel to Africa, like from Canada or whatever, they didn't always just want to go to popular places in, let's say, Uganda that are just crowded by other tourists. So they wanted like to be able to interact with other people, like the locals. So they would just randomly show up in like different bars, because like in these countries, like they're like popular places that okay, if you go here, you're gonna find a Mzungu, or lots of Bazungus. So and you could, like I see lots of Bazungus here. Why do I need to go to Africa to see Bazungus? So I guess it's fine, but the people who just like are free spirited like that and just I'm gonna go hang out. If people talk to me, I think you just have to be open. Like if you're to travel and have fun, you have to be open to making friends and stuff like that. All right, so let's see. Somebody was saying, wow, does she travel alone?
For most of my travels, yeah. I left my job in 2015, and almost all my travels have been alone. When I was backpacking across East Africa, I was with one of my friends, so that was one of the few times I was with someone. But yeah, mostly by myself. And I prefer being by myself. As I said, I get to do what I want. I don't have to compromise anything. Like it's easy.
What does your family think? Do you have any siblings, Kesi?
I have an older brother, older sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my parents, I said when I made a plan to travel, I was saving money for 2 years. When I first told my parents, like, I'm going to leave my job to travel the world, they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
So like I was saving. So like I got 2 years to prepare them for me to travel. But still, my first year when I was gone, my mom told me she didn't sleep for 6 months.
Oh, poor thing.
They definitely were worried, but now they're doing it for so long. They're super supportive.
That's good.
Like they're like, wow, this is like such a different path to take, especially with my background going to Warden and things like that. It's a different path.
Yeah. How often do you come back home, or do they actually travel to come see you, or you come home?
I actually get back to the States quite often. Like my first year, I was gone for the whole year. But ever since then, I'll go back to the U.S. every holiday. Not every holiday, but like Christmas. I make sure I'm always home for Christmas because family is really important for me.
Yeah.
And also like big events. If there's a wedding, baby. So I get back to the States, so I still get to see my parents and brothers and sisters.
That's good. All right. Let's see. Somebody said the Kumba guy said I'd like to see different stamps in your passport. They must be amazing.
Well, I used to go through passports like it was my job. Oh my God. Like I would go through a passport in like 2 years, my passport would be completed. Like they didn't add more pages to these things.
Yeah. How often do you have your passports might be full at some point? Cesar Darius has a question, Kesi question. What are you interested in seeing when you travel to Africa?
For me, what's the most fun is people. Like I want to interact with people, just get to know different cultures and things like that. So, yeah, there might be like some sights to see and things like that, but like I'm more about the feel. Like I want to take the public transport, see who's next to me. Like I want to get invited to a local party. That's kind of what I like to see. But there's so many different activities as well. I don't know I don't really have a bucket list item per se. But I would love to see the trees in Madagascar and all the different fauna there.
Oh yeah. Madagascar's gorgeous. Yeah.
I'd want to visit some of the slave sites, the slave memorials in Western Africa. Just as a Black American, that's something that I think would be
Where was that? I saw your picture with the slave thing or stone. Where was that from?
That was outside Nigeria, in Badagry, outside of Lagos, Nigeria, Badagry. So that definitely was a powerful moment to visit that former slave site. And and I want to visit a couple more of these places because I don't think there's a lot of government funds to keep these places around. So that's why, like, if we get more people to visit, maybe there'll be more interest to like keep these places conserved and things like that. It's important history.
Yeah, it's important history. Yeah, those are things like really good. Apart from reading about Martin Luther King, all the time, it's important to like get to know that side of things as well. This is Africa was saying, I have an old friend in Kenya. She belongs to a hiking group of some kind. Yeah, those groups are there. I think actually most of them now have like websites. I remember when I was in Uganda, there were frisbee groups that they had a website. So then they would tell you like a schedule when they would play frisbee. So Bazungus could hook up with their fellow friends. Let's see. So you left your job for traveling. How do you pay your bills?
Yeah, so I get this question
a lot, probably.
Yeah, that's what people are really curious about. My first year, I lived off the money I saved. As I said, I saved money for 2 years, and that was strictly the money I saved was strictly for traveling purposes. So I had the freedom to do what I wanted. Then after the year went by, it's like, okay, now I need some money.
Yeah.
So I started picking up seasonal work as a hostess on sailing charters, which is also a way to travel. Like I'm going to Seychelles for New Year's Eve. That's work for me. I'll be cooking on boats, and it's something I never cooked before.
Yeah. Kesi loves to cook, guys. You'll love her blogs. She cooks.
Now I love cooking. Growing up in New York, like my mom spoiled me growing up. She cooked everything. She cleaned everything. I didn't get that skill set. And then living in New York City, you just order everything, order delivery, for it all.
Yeah.
So I finally started to learn how to cook on a boat while traveling. And I love it. So for me, it's important. I have a finance background. I just know how to live within my means. My budget for a year is around $10,000, and that's kind of what I live off of for 4 years. And I was still able to live like a fruitful life. And now since the pandemic hit, I had to reevaluate. And now I'm working full time as a travel blogger. So
okay. That's good. I hope you keep getting in like with your blogs. You hook up with like people like what's his name, Dowdy. By the way, Dowdy is David. So
yeah. He's most different. Like I heard people call him like 3 different types of name. Dowdy, David. Like,
of course, it's gonna have a different accent. Are you kidding? Yeah, somebody will call him Dowdy. No, call him. But like the English part of it is David. So if you're like screw this, I'm not gonna call Dowdy. I'm gonna call you David. So he'll be okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so I hope you hook up with people like that, with your blogs and stuff like that, or places that you visit. You're able to get discounts. That will be good for you, or even like free nights here and there to reduce on your expenses as you travel. Absolutely. I need to hook you up with people in Uganda that need to give you free accommodations as you blog about the places. That's like free marketing. Let's see, what is this? Have you learned to differentiate Africans? Oh, that's a good one.
I'm not sure if I know many of the different stereotypes. I know some Africans don't like to consider like South Africans real Africans or real Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put like a Kenyan, a Tanzanian, and a Ugandan in the same room, I don't know.
That might be hard. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely differences between cultures. Like my time in Nigeria was like really different culture. I think there was a little bit of culture shock there for me.
Yeah. What have been some of your embarrassing moments, let's say, in different parts of the world, like where the culture is different? What have been those moments?
It's hard to say like embarrassing moments because I have like no shame.
Yeah.
But just like where I kind of felt the clash of culture. I'll speak of Nigeria.
Mhm.
I was staying with someone who was quite wealthy, quite well off in Nigeria, and
Mhm.
he had staff and things like that,
Mhm.
and just the way that the people who are well off kind of treat their staff kind of rubbed me the
The
wrong way.
wrong way. Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't know, I want to treat everyone as humane as possible, and it just like
Mhm.
seemed a little dehumanizing. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
so yeah,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
was something I had a little culture shock with.
Did you talk to him about it or her about it, or you just
No, when I'm a guest at someone's place, I don't really want to
yeah,
like it's not really my place.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
so I observe the place,
yeah.
but I don't want to always impose my views. But I guess I could. I
I
keep
hear you.
I could have at that point, but
Yeah,
and,
but maybe not. Yeah. Hmm.
and
Okay.
it's hard for me to think of other different cultural moments. Things start to like blend in after a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Things like food. You've been okay adjusting to different countries' foods and stuff like that.
I love trying different foods. Here's a kind of funny food story. Um, I went on this tour in Vietnam that was really off the beaten path. It was unique because our guide, he grew up in this like really small village where they speak their own native language, like they don't even speak Vietnamese there. And he got
Hmm.
adopted at 11 into like the city, so he learned English, he learned Vietnamese, and he still knows this local language. So he had this small tour group where he wanted to show us like the real side of Vietnam. And we go into this really small village. At first, they're super scared to like see us Westerners because when they think Westerner, they just think of like the wars and like all the bad things that have happened.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but eventually, we get into someone's house and we explain that we just want to do like a cultural exchange. So like these people are interested to learn more about you, and they offered a typical meal that they have there.
Yeah.
I was the first one to be like, I'll try it. They didn't tell us what it was, so I took a spoon that wasn't clean at all. You know, everyone's been eating out of the spoon, and I dipped it in like some spice. Took my bite of it. It wasn't. It was sour rice milk, and then it was rat seasoning, like dried rat seasoning. Um, Honestly, the dried rat seasoning made it a lot better. Like the sour rice nothing wasn't that good, but like the dried rat seasoning wasn't too bad.
Rat, rat as in a rat. L. Oh my gosh. RAT.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they showed us where the rats were drying. Like we
Oh
saw
my
them.
gosh. Okay. That's interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, so they dry them, and wow, that's interesting. What did you guys? Well, what was your expression? Like, if you're to be honest, what did you say?
I'm not good at hiding my facial expression, so I'm sure when I
Yeah.
ate, like, but when I ate rat, the rat thing didn't like the rat tasted good. Like that was the good part of it. So I wasn't really phased by that part.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. All right. So this is Africa's Kesi. Have you ever missed a boat, train, bus, or plane in Africa? If so, was you charged more money for the next pickup?
I never really planned that far in advance. Well, like you go to the bus stop and you just wait, and the bus comes when it's going to come, and then I get on it. So I never really have pre-booked any of that stuff while in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I missed flights before, but that's another story.
Yeah, I missed some flights as well. I mean, like sometimes you don't know how the traffic is going to be. I'm like, well, it's just an hour to Entebbe Airport, so I'll make it. And then of course you never do, because all right. So what have you ever? I mean, you've traveled. What has been like your worst airport to travel through or to?
Um, Maybe in the DRC,
Yeah.
people recommend like not flying in and out of that airport, and I
Hmm.
kind of know why. Like they charge you like extra money just to fly out of the airport. Like they don't. No one tells you this. You show up at the airport, you have to pay this tax and
Oh
cash
wow.
at the
Really?
airport. What? What? I have to pay extra $50 now? What? So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I didn't like that experience.
Has your luggage been stolen from any airports, or you travel light? I can imagine. So
Yeah, I'm not too worried. Like my bags have never been stolen. I've had things from my bag be stolen. Like someone stole my hiking boots, and I'm like, they probably need it more than me. Like whatever. Like that's the one thing about like long-term travel. I'm very minimalist now, and I have very little attachment to my items.
to things.
Yeah, so if something goes missing, it's like, well, I guess I'm just not supposed to have that now.
That's the best way to live, I guess.
I
Yeah.
have travel insurance, so I can always claim things on travel insurance. And
Okay, that's good. Oh, that's actually good to know. That's yeah. So you think people who travel a lot should have travel insurance for sure?
Oh, 100%. Definitely get travel insurance. 100%. It's worth it.
Okay. How often have you had to use it?
Oh, I've used it so many times. If I lose like if I left my headphones somewhere, I claim travel insurance. If I lose my phone, claim travel insurance. I've been hospitalized in Mozambique, in Prague, in Thailand. Use my health insurance.
Oh yeah. So when you travel, what insurance company do you use? Like health insurance, actually.
Yeah. So the one I recommend for long-term travels is Safety Wing.
Okay.
I have a link if you want to sign up for it. Use my link because I have an affiliate link for it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the best option for long-term travelers. If you're doing just like short trips, I would recommend Allianz, but the maximum time it could be 45 days. Just get the annual policy. Policy the same price as a one trip policy.
All right. How much do you have? Okay, so how much do you have to pay annually? I mean, I can look it up. Send it to me. Send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So, but it's affordable. You recommend it?
Yeah, I recommend it. It's always good to have a safety net because, like, if you have an expensive phone and it gets lost or stolen, like, at least that's one less thing to stress about. At least you can
get it replaced. Yeah. In no time. Yeah. All right. Oh my gosh, it's already an hour. I'm gonna have to let you go, Kesi. What last advice do you give to people who are skeptical about traveling? I have so many friends who are Americans that have never even left their country to go anywhere else.
Yeah. Just like traveling is a beautiful thing, and there's so many different ways to do it. There's so many different styles. It can be affordable. Like you don't have to spend that much money, or you can spend a lot of money. Like there's so many different ways to travel this continent. But people are beautiful. People are giving, and just be a kind person and pay it forward.
Yeah, I think you have to be kind to get kindness. Sure. But it's another way of saying what else is out there, in my opinion. They say, in my language, they say, a child who never travels thinks their mom is the best cook. Yeah, so it's like a loose translation. So it's the same thing. If you've never traveled outside your own home, your own country, you always believe your own country is the best out there. Or your people are the best out there. So until you actually travel. Hi, Namagandamur.
I hear so many Americans who are just like, the U.S. is the best. The U.S. is the best. I'm like, surprise. A little surprised.
Yeah. All right, guys. I know someone like just joining. Thanks for joining us again. If you guys have any questions, we'll be doing more sessions like this with Kesi. So she could maybe take us around the rest of the world. Today we're like kind of focusing about her experience in Africa and different countries she's visited. But I would love to learn more about different countries, like other continents. So that, I mean, like I love to travel. Like I've been to Uganda a lot of times. I've been to England. I love to but I want to expand like to places. Have you ever been to Greece, Kesi?
Yeah, I love Greece.
Yeah. See, I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Thailand. Where are there any countries you've kind of felt segregated, like not welcomed, or any of your friends that you know that have not felt or have felt picked on? Any
I
countries?
no, no. I have like
Okay.
people like ask me all the time, like, what's it like traveling while black? Traveling while black. I
Mhm.
think one, I'm this little bubbly light skin
Yes.
girl, so I think colorism can always play a part in it. But
Yeah.
um, I don't know. Like I'm living in Hungary right now, which is majority white city.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel completely welcomed here. Maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm not, but like
Yeah.
I feel like
At
where I
times it's
go.
safe to be naive.
Yeah.
Don't go digging for things if like if you don't see them every day, why do I have to go digging, to make sure I see them? So I think that's a good mentality to have. All right. Thanks for joining us. I hope you have the rest of your day. Oh, well, it's like your evening time, right? With like 6 hours different.
Yeah, it's like 6:14 now.
It's like 6:14. It's 12 here. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe. Please wear your mask. Stay safe. Did you get vaccinated?
I got vaccinated more than once. That's a story for another day. But
What do you mean more than once? Did you forget?
no, just in Hungary, it's so political. I got vaccinated in the US, but they don't
Mhm.
recognize that vaccine here, so I still can't access like normal life. Um, so in
What do
order to
you mean?
life, I need to get vaccinated here in Hungary. So it's
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Which one did you get when you were in the US with vaccine?
Janssen, the Johnson
Oh, the,
Johnson.
the J&J. Oh, okay. But still, my husband got that one. So I get the Pfizer one. But that's strange. Oh, well. So you had to how did your body feel after getting it again?
So I got the same shot again. I haven't had any side effects. So hopefully I don't die.
You're still alive. You're still
I'm
alive.
still
Oh my
alive.
God.
Hopefully no problems. But yeah, I haven't had any side effects.
That's strange. Okay, that's strange. Okay, we have Rashid. Rashid is in Dubai. Actually, oh my gosh, yes. So Casey, if you're going through Dubai, maybe you have layovers. Look for my best buddy here, Rashid. Rashid does amazing content in Dubai, but he's Ugandan. But he will take you around. He's just like you. He's very bubbly, young, and very energetic. So. And somebody says, "Hey, you have beautiful hair." That's my friend Liz. I know she has like such a beautiful afro. I'm so jealous. Look at mine and hers. Like I'm like her baby hair sister now. Yeah. Yes. And then let's see who else. So yeah, Rashid. Hi. So that's the guy. Um, he's best in Dubai. So thanks guys for joining us. You guys are joining when we're closing. We're done talking. If you need like a little background about Casey has traveled to 60 plus countries. Like that's to me, that's like amazing. So she just travels the world. She's been to Uganda a few times now, and she's been to other parts of Africa. She's been to Kenya. She's been to Tanzania. Where have you been in West Africa?
Nigeria and then
Hmm.
Morocco. No, that's North Africa. But
No, yeah. And you've been to South Africa too.
I've been to South
No,
Africa, Botswana, Mozambique,
yeah,
Malawi.
yeah. So
Yeah.
she's a wild trotter. Like seriously, she's been to more countries in Africa than I have. Like that's embarrassing, and I call myself African. But it's a challenge to all of us to travel. And she's an Ivy League graduate. Hey, Penn. And she worked on Wall Street, and she just decided she's a finance major. Look at her. She just decided to travel the world, and she's loving it. And I hope she keeps enjoying it and making lots and lots of friends wherever she travels. So next time you're going to Uganda, you have to text me, and I make sure you get a good time. Whatever you want to be. No pain. No pain when you're in Uganda. You can't.
That's what I
You
like to
can.
hear. Music
You
to my
can.
ears.
Yes. We're going to adopt you now. We're going to adopt you. Next, you have to go to Zimbabwe, to Zambia, so you can check out the Kumba guy.
My
All these friends who are here are YouTubers, so maybe whenever you get some time, you can support them. check out their channels, maybe subscribe. You're a blogger, so you know what it means. Yes. And Kesi is a blogger, so you guys can check out her blogs. You can re-blog them, I'm sure, so that you can get amazing views. Does blogging pay you? I don't know. How does it work?
Yeah, there's different avenues. I have a separate Instagram account where I've been monetizing my travel blog. It's called Journey to Be a Travel Blogger. I'm very candid and open on there. But yeah, so for me, I do some sponsorships on the website. You have affiliate marketing and ads. There's group trips. So there's different ways. It's entrepreneur, right? So there's different ways to monetize.
Oh, cool. That's good to hear. Where can you drop your link, your blog link? I don't know. Let's see if we can drop it in the chat.
Where? How do I? Oh, do I? Oh, I think I. Okay, so I do. That's my website. Did that go through?
Yes, it came in as a private chat. Okay, let's see.
I don't think I can put it in the group chat.
I think you should, but I just did. That's the one, right there.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. All right, so that's it. You guys can check her out. Give her some support as well. She's a fellow traveler, so you guys will love what she's talking about, and you can also post her on your channels if you want to talk to people more about traveling to different parts of the world. I don't think she has a YouTube channel now.
I have a YouTube. I don't really use it, but my handle is the same on all my social media. It's Kesi to and fro.
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever.
So Liz, you can find her with that, and this is her. This is her Facebook thing here. So right there.
That's my personal Facebook. That's not my.
Oh, that's actually her personal. Yeah, sorry. Let me delete that one. Let's see if I can actually delete that one. Put using timeout. I don't know what that means. Okay, but that's her personal, so you guys don't really have to check her out there. But she has like the one that I shared earlier. Yes, you can. That one is where you can find her and check what she does. Right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us again. I gotta let Kesi go and also get back to work before I get my butt fired here. Thanks again for chatting with us, giving us your experience about Africa and different parts of the world. I think traveling is therapy. She travels solo most of the time. Along the way, she meets friends. And before you know it, she's having fun with a whole bunch of different people. I was enjoying your videos in Uganda where you just like with the locals and dancing and just party crashing. That was fun. So you take care, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.